What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. We are coming out strong this week. I was so excited for this show because I'm just feeling like things are shifting and, there's some interesting information coming out. And it looks like at the very least, we could see some sort of relief bounce. I mean, we're seeing it right now. And the question is, are we seeing a local bottom? How high can this bounce go? What will that mean for altcoins? Is there some newly injected optimism into the space? Everybody thought that maybe rate cuts weren't going to happen in December, and now it looks like there's a chance they're back on. The market's starting to feel a little bit more bullish than it was last week. We just had the inverse Cramer signal. That's right. Jim Cramer just came out and said that he's bearish on Bitcoin, which you know what that means. That means these green nails, and at the end of the day, they're for one reason, and that's bullishness. That's the counter signal right there that we got, and there seemed to be like a little bit less afraid. Let's just put it that way. There's a little bit less fear in the market this week than last. But where does that leave us? Have we found a local market bottom? What kind of indicators are there to show us that that could be so? And if that is true, then is this bounce going to be cut? Or are we going to actually maybe potentially start to see a reversal shaping up? That is the $1 million question. And we're here to guide you through that in the charts with Rob. So yeah, Brian, I love your vibe, man. It's a new week. It's a new day. And I'm feeling good. Yes, I'm feeling very good. 88.8. That's very, very lucky. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting things sort of starting to shift. It's like this slow, but like it's kind of like what's happening in the markets right now. There are some OG whales who are selling hard, but there are also some OG whales who are buying hard. And in this whole sort of chaos and retail's panicking and capitulating like retail always does, and don't get me wrong, we're all retail here, but we're smarter retail because we understand that, selling at an all-time low in sentiment is probably not the best idea out there, right? So it's a really interesting time, guys. And I feel like this is the time that big money, institutional money has been quietly accumulating. I mean, think about it. If honestly, it's true, everything that's coming out. I think the Winklevoss twins just now doubled down and said Bitcoin's going to hit 1 million by 2030. And all of these predictions from all of these major players, you better believe they're going to want to accumulate at a discount, right? They're not going to want to get in at all-time highs. So I just feel like there's this small, quiet shift happening while everyone else panics. They're all accumulating, and we're slowly starting to kind of like creep toward the other side. So let's see how that goes, guys. But yeah, big news on the XRP ETF. I see, Andrew, you're excited about that. Yes, there are a lot of ETFs, Brian, but it's only bullish long run. I mean, ETF doesn't have to mean, and it hasn't meant that it's going to be bullish immediately, but that's bullish, very bullish long term because it allows institutions to accumulate, right? So that's absolutely a very, very bullish thing for XRP. And there's Bitwise, it seems to be up as well, on fire. The stats are looking pretty good. I have one here that says 1.2 million, now 32 million, and that was about, I don't know, 1 hour ago. So yeah, guys, things are heating up. The first XRP ETF tracker is live. I remember when I did a video on this like 1.5 years ago, maybe 2. I don't know. It was a while back when I said that, there was this one woman who was ex-Wall Street. She was like, wow, I think it was Coinbase came out with XRP futures trading. And they were saying how that's going to be like the start to something big and it's going to take a long time. But there's a lot of focus on XRP, and XRP is, well, actually, I'll read the quote for you, okay? This is also super bullish. Franklin Templeton launched an XRP ETF and says XRP is foundational to global finance as its Franklin XRP Trust or XRPZ ETF goes live today. So foundational to global finance. Those are big words, guys. Those are big words. So we've got a lot of things happening, and we're finally starting to see that tick up in the charts. Now, is it the charts that are causing this, or is it the news? Well, oftentimes we always say, show me the chart and I'll tell you the news, right? But now actually it seems that there is a sentiment shift, and we're coming out of that extreme fear. A 6, actually, to be exact, a 6. We were at a 6. So pretty wild times. I hope you guys all survived the weekend pretty okay. We had some setups for you in the Hive Discord. You are going to want to join the Hive Discord right now because we are launching our VIP Telegram group on Wednesday officially, okay? And that is going to be gated. You're going to have to be signed up to the BYDFi link in the description below. So do that now so you do get access. yeah, I'll give you more stats on that tomorrow, but we are very, very excited. And we already got a very nice group formed in there that is ready to start trading and to start crushing it. Rob is going to be doing live scalping sessions. I'll talk to you more about that when I pull Rob up here now, but do sign up to the link in the description and make sure you get in the Hive Discord, because we're going to do giveaways there. And that's sort of our social hub where we hang out and we vibe. Right, Brian? So El Gamed, nice to see you here. Divergent snails. Yeah, I like that, Automaniac. Inverse snails. Yeah, Brian. They happen to be inverse because I got them bullish green right before this massive, huge dump. So I'm supposed to get my nails done on Wednesday, guys. So let's see what color my nail lady chooses this time. I'm gonna let her choose, because then it's real, right? Like then it's really happening. If she chooses red, then we're going up. Just kidding, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's time to hold, says La Gran Comisión. Welcome to the channel. I don't know if I've seen you here before, but I like your vibe. Yeah. I mean, we don't panic sell. That's the number one rule, okay? Whether you're going to get out on the next pump or you're going to hold and you want to hold through the years, we do not panic sell on a capitulation dip like this, and especially not at a 6. That's just like the golden rule. That's at least what I'm doing, right? And so it's never a good idea. So then I want to give you one more piece from Elon Musk as to why we know that sentiment's starting to shift short term, right? Okay, it looks like the Fed's going to have another rate cut, potentially December. Things are starting to be less scary. President Trump has a meeting with Xi Jinping. Am I saying his name right? I always forget. The Chinese president in April. And you know what? Like, the more I think about it, the more it makes sense. Like, of course, this timing adds up. So I always look for confluence. We're going to show you some charts today with Rob that actually show confluence, that this could be looking much more like a local bottom rather than, the chart that we were going to use it for, which was a top indicator. So this is a really interesting chart. I can't wait for you guys to see that. Of course, there are 2 scenarios. We're going to let you know both scenarios, but I'm just feeling like, long term, this is what I keep thinking. Okay, Trump's midterm elections are next November. He's going to want to go into those midterm elections piping hot. That's at least how I feel. We're going to replace the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. It's going to be totally different. He's not going to be conservative. I mean, there are so many things in the pipeline that I just find it very hard to believe that this time next year, we're not going to be sitting pretty, right? So yeah. What's up, Cam? Welcome to the show. We're going to rock and roll today, guys. We got a lot of setups that are ready to pop off, and we're going to give you a few on this stream, okay? So last thing I'm going to leave you with is the reason why Bitcoin is the answer. The reason why all these institutional people are doubling down and saying that, you better get your Bitcoin before it hits 1 million, because once it hits 1 million, then sky's the limit, right? Like, we're probably at mass adoption by that time. And right now we're not. Right now we're at 6% of the world. And if you own 1 Bitcoin, you're like less than 1%. You're extremely rare, right? So now is the time to double down on that, in my opinion. So here, I'm going to play this video for you, and then we're going to pull Rob up.
Inflation is going to happen no matter what. If you increase the money supply, you get inflation.
Right.
So there's not some magical cure for getting rid of inflation, except to increase the productivity, the output of goods and services. So if you say like what is money? You've got these sort of it's basically numbers in a database that sum up to some total. Then you've got the output of goods and services of the economy, and as long as the ratio of money to ratio of goods and services stays, if that stays constant, you have no inflation. If you add more money, if you add money to the system faster than you increase goods and services,
right,
then you have inflation. So all of these COVID sort of stimulus bills.
So basically, the point is, it cuts off there, but basically the point is that there is really no answer to controlling this inflation anymore. And due to the fact that we are living in those conditions and this is our reality, then, it's only going to get better for Bitcoin from here, theoretically. And of course, that's the thesis that I buy into. And that's why I dollar cost average as much as I possibly can. Guys, so Cam, yes, Tensor Tau is looking juicy. That's right, Tensor pumped. Okay, is that BitTensor? Is that what you guys are talking about? Because I have to take a look. I haven't even looked at that yet today. If it did, I'm going to be sad because I'm not in it, but I'm happy for you guys if you did. And we did talk about that one on the stream on last Thursday or Friday. So without further ado, guys, let's just jump right into the good stuff, okay? Let's go. Let's have a chat with Rob and his beautiful Dalmatian Purdy.
Yep. Say hello, Purdy. Yep, we're just hanging out looking at charts.
She's so cute. She's our good luck charm, you guys. She's our spirit animal dog.
Yep. All right, how you doing today?
Hey, good. I'm sort of feeling like a different vibe in the market today. Things are pumping a little bit. It seems like people have a little bit less fear than where we left off last week. So, what are you thinking, Rob?
I mean, we're getting green and we haven't got collapsed just yet. It doesn't feel like a fake out like it has been. Like every time we got green, like any green candles, within like the next 4 hours, it was just all gone. So
Right. So something has changed. A small change in character is what we're witnessing here, even if it's not a reversal just yet. But so that's one of the things we're going to be going over in this stream today, guys, is where might we be at? Because we've been finding some interesting data in the charts right now. Of course, like I said before, we're going to go over both scenarios, but this one scenario could be extremely bullish. Okay. So yeah, those dogs are rare, aren't they, Watchmen? That's the first thing I said. You never see people with Dalmatians anymore. And I was always told is because they're difficult dogs. But your dog doesn't seem too difficult.
no, they're very good family dogs. It's hard to get them trained to like other people outside the family. So definitely the people that you want the dog to like, you got to have them around as they're a puppy. But as soon as they're attached, I call her. I wish we named her Velcro because she is just always right on me. Like because she got the Dalmatian smile when you come home, she just smiles at you, and like you can see, she's just hugging on to me right now, waiting for the kids to get home.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know what a Dalmatian smile is, look it up because it's so funny. It's so cute. Like I had no idea that they actually do this, but they like show their teeth, and it actually looks like maybe it could be an aggressive thing, but it's actually a smile.
Yeah, it's confusing.
So
Yeah, she does it every day. I come home and stuff like that. Like I legitimately, as soon as I get home, she legitimately puts her paws around my leg and arm. She smiles, she like licks me, and then like jumps on my bed and lays on her back and wants me to rub her belly.
oh, so cute. Makes me think of 101 Dalmatians. I love it. I love it so much. Purdy's going to give us good luck, guys, coming back into the turn in the next leg of this, whatever it is. Right? Bull run, crypto market cycle. I don't know what to call it anymore, but it looks like things are shifting tides. So what do you say we pull those charts up, Rob, and we have a look?
Sounds good.
All right. Get charts on up here.
All right. All right. So basically looking at this one here, this is the Bitcoin monthly chart. And I was actually going to be using this for a cycle top chart. And I was looking for this to get up to this red trend line, or at least kind of close to it, to kind of sit there and say, hey, we're close to cycle top here. And we were basically making a bullish pendant before. Let me go ahead and grab this right here. So we basically had a bullish pendant kind of going on beforehand. I was like, all right, this bullish pendant has a higher probability of breaking up on the RSI. And whenever it does, the measured move was actually up to the trend line, and it didn't. It actually broke down here. And now I was just kind of looking at it the other day, and I'm like, all right, so we didn't get nearly close to this where the cycle tops normally are at. People are calling it cycle top. And this is actually like only 26% away from like the green trend line down here, where typically your cycle bottoms are pretty close to being at. And we're actually now closer to on the RSI standpoint in a monthly time frame, we're closer to cycle bottom than cycle top from where we're at right now, which I just found completely interesting. Or is it something where I believe that you were talking about before? Is this going to be a longer bull run to where this is a low and we get some kind of higher low right here as well too? So since we didn't hit this all the way up to here, is our pullback going to be more shallow? We print a higher low right here, and every time we came down, we've always printed a lower low, but is this time different? And then a lot of people say, I want to sit there and say, is this time different? Well, you know what? This whole bull market has been completely different this whole time, so I expect things are going to happen differently now at this point.
Yeah, I mean that wouldn't be outlandish to think. There's reasons why it's different, and there's fundamental reasons why as well. So yeah, I feel like it wouldn't be that outlandish. And plus, yeah, it makes sense to me that okay, let's have a little bit longer of a consolidation, mini bear market, whatever you want to call it. Let's hit the bottom of that trend line or close. It just makes a lot of sense per my thesis. Now that can be proven wrong at any point in time, but I know we are below the 50-week, but for me, Trump wanting to make things go soar before his midterm elections makes a lot of sense. So the timing seems to add up. Let's see if that's going to be what ends up happening. Yeah, you're right, because we didn't get that last pump out of that bull flag. Breaking down as it makes me think that, yeah, this adds more confidence to that theory.
Yeah, definitely. And then also too, I'm thinking about like Fidelity and BlackRock and how they read RSI and stuff like that. They don't typically always read as overbought, oversold and stuff like that. They look at ranges, and they look at above 40 as a bullish indicator. And right now, and like 50 as bullish momentum. So right now we are like going down to the 50 zone. So even if we get down in the 50 zone, we start curving up. they're going to sit there and say Bitcoin still has bullish momentum. And these are like, if you go to like fidelity.com and look on their websites and read through all their stuff, which I have done all of that, that's actually what that's what they're looking at when they look at RSI. They're looking at the ranges and they're looking at it as a momentum indicator. That's actually what RSI is. It's called relative strength index. It tells you what your momentum is. So we stay above 40 and 50 and it holds 50 and it starts to pivot up again. Big money like BlackRock, Fidelity, they're going to be like, oh, okay, that's bullish. We're still in a bullish momentum. We're good.
Right. No, I think that's super interesting. And you make a very good point. We should study the rules that the big players use because that is who we're playing with. That is essentially who we're swimming in this whale ocean sea with. Right. So it would make sense to me that you study what they look at instead of what crypto looks at.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and pull on the next chart, but I got to go get my one kid off the bus real quick.
Okay, yeah, no worries. We can have a little bit talk while you do that, and I can tell people about our new plans.
Back in 2 minutes.
All right, no problem. Okay, so that being said, guys, Brian, thank you for calling it out. 89K, let's freaking go. How many of you think this is a dead cat bounce and think this is, we're going into an extended bear market and we're on the 4-year cycle? I'm curious because it seems that like crypto Twitter seems to change its sentiment and starts to flip pretty quickly. And I think it's not even necessarily, we don't even necessarily have to call it a longer cycle or that the 4-year cycle is dead. There's other theories too, like the amount of days within one cycle. And within those amount of days, Bitcoin typically tops on X day. But what if it was the same amount of days, but Bitcoin just topped a little bit later? I don't know. There's lots of different things, but for me, I'm just not seeing what I would need to see to make it into my thesis that, yeah, this is going to be an extended bear market. We're getting a 70% correction and we'll be back for more. I just don't buy it. I just don't buy it for so many big fundamental reasons. Right. So yeah, that's just how I'm thinking about this bull run. And yeah. So we were looking at the Ichimoku cloud. I think this one is really interesting as well.
Yeah, so this is a 3-day chart of the Ichimoku cloud here, and it also has the Ichimoku timelines as well too for time cycles on here. So they also have their own time cycle and how they do all this and everything. That's what this white line is right here. It maps out all the pivot points. I don't quite fully understand the math yet. I'm still learning the math, but my indicator just puts it up on there for me. One day I'll completely understand it. And I've showed this chart before where we were looking for this level right here to hold down here in the RSI. We had the Stosh RSI all the way down low as where we're getting down into it, but we did break support on the RSI. Now this is where I sit here and I start looking at it. Right, I want to dive a little bit deeper on it. This right here is the 3-day SMA 100 line right here that we're testing. We held a support as of right now. Now when I zoom in on this and we hit this timeline right here, and however these are printed here, I was actually, whenever we were last looking at it, was somewhere up in this area. If we pivot up in here, I was looking for use that timeline as it's meant for pivots, and I was looking for a pivot high once we hit it wherever we were at. But now that we're hitting it, we had this big pullback, and we have all the indicators like this. This might be indicating that we might be in timeline as for the Ichimoku cloud for a pivot low to where we start pivoting here to make our next pivot to go to the upside. Now, right. I'm going to jump into the RSI next real quick because I think this is a very big thing to kind of look at because market structure is everything in crypto for me. So you always want to pay attention to that. This was a very strong level that we broke on the RSI and we went lower. So I had to go back in history and I started looking back at this in history, and the levels that we are at on this typically got us close. And this is where I'm going back with that last chart. This is where I start getting confluence with charts here. So where I was saying the monthly RSI is that like we're closer to the cycle bottom indicators than we are cycle top. So right here was 2018 cycle bottom zone. RSI was down in these levels. You look back in this area, cycle bottom, you get back in these levels here, cycle bottom was in this level on the 3-day RSI. And we're matching that with the Stosh RSI as well, too. So Stosh RSI is low. So it's just this is just very different. We know we're not like we're getting, it's just different here because everybody's calling cycle top. We broke the weekly SMA 50, and I'm going to be going to that chart next as well, too, for some ideas off of that there. But it's just very peculiar that how we broke that and we confirmed that break. But you zoom out a little bit here, we're already getting like close to cycle bottom indicators signals. It's kind of like, wait a second, what? This is kind of different.
Right. Yeah. Something looks different. And there's all these indicators that you would think would be calling the top by now, considering where we are, they're not, right? And they're actually showing that we're more toward the bottom of potentially toward the bottom of a cycle than the top of a cycle. Which, how long have we been in this bear market consolidation now?
Let me measure it real quick. So
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
honestly, I don't think it's been very long. It's been kind of the normal same pullbacks. So from the all-time high to right now, it's been 54 days. So let's go ahead and look at the last time, just kind of compare it. 78 days was last time, basically, if I lined it up just so close to that. If I lined it up just right. So, I mean, for every pullback, so let's go ahead and just look at this one right here. This one might have been our longest one, 150 days or whatever. But from our last, so this area right here, from local high to local low was 72 days. Local high to local low, or potential local low. Can't call it local low yet because it's not confirmed, but it looks pretty confirmed to me. 54 days. So it's looking very not that long, to be honest.
Yeah, and it seems that each pullback is getting shorter. If indeed we did find near the cycle bottom, each pullback gets shorter and shorter as we get more mature into the bull cycle, right? That's
what it's looking more euphoria as you get closer towards the cycle top. Yeah, you get more of the euphoria closer to your stage where you get the bigger pumps and faster pumps. People like speed.
Yeah, so it's interesting. It's very interesting. And these charts are still sort of showing that confluence that we've been hypothesizing all along, right? Claire, I just want to give a shout out to you. Welcome to the show from Sydney from tomorrow. She's still holding her theta. I just want to say, theta people, we had a great setup in the hive. Rob posted about theta that needs to break its 12-hour 9, and it's currently in the process of trying to do so. So we may go over that later on in the stream, Claire. And yeah, still holding strong, still holding strong. I got a big bag of theta too. You better believe it. Cam, you guys didn't switch despite the large crypto bear sentiment. Much respect to sticking to your guns. George was saying the same thing. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's more of like, okay, if something drastic happens or goes against the analysis, then we'll flip. But there just hasn't been enough analysis to say, okay, yes, this looks like a market cycle top, right? And so until that happens, of course, there are some bearish indicators right now, but it doesn't look like a market cycle top from all different, what would you call, like all the different senses and the things that we would look to see that. So yeah, pullbacks are getting short.
Charts. You want to have confluence of a bunch of different charts. I mean, there was some major ones that showed us that this pullback was going to happen. I mean, it was way deeper than a lot of people would be expected on this first thing. We broke a lot of key supports and stuff like that. And that's what I'm going to show on this one here. But like here, what I'm looking at right here is the weekly chart. When you look at the weekly chart right here, we broke, like I always talk about confirmation candle closes. Yeah, we broke the weekly 50. We got a confirmation candle here. And this is kind of where I can sit there and I'm going to start doing a little bit of a bearish part. We might be having a bounce all the way up to the about 100K area. We get above 100K. And that could get people really excited. And we get rejected from this area. We're probably going to go down lower. And we might be getting close. We might break down. You know what I mean? But if we do recover that, have two candle closes over that, then we're looking to at least getting up to the top of this pattern and potentially getting a new all-time high. And this area where I put this right here was of March of 2026. Sell them May, go away type of area. April, May. So yeah, so somewhere in this area right here. So I kind of did that on purpose. Right around 140, 150K-ish is this trend line in this area right here. So there is a potential of getting a new all-time high in this cycle. And a lot of people, like a lot of indicators have been shown like 200K to 150K as cycle top zone for that we're looking for on this move on this bull run here. So I am given that scenario that if this pattern sit there, we don't have this confirmed yet, this pivot here, but we're getting pretty dang close to it now. If we get a couple day closes and everything, and if that pivot, if this pivot confirms, our next pivot will be up to this trend line. So stay in this pattern here. So there's going to be the 100K is going to be really, really critical in since the weekly SMA 50s there is going to be extremely critical zone. Once we get to it, it's going to be extremely critical to be paying attention.
Well, not only that, it's such a strong psychological number, right? So you've got all of the indicators, the TA plus that psychological element of 100K below or above. So yeah, it's going to be high stakes, guys, and we're going to be paying attention to that because that's going to tell us a lot about how the next few months are going to look potentially, right? Few weeks to months. So I don't know. I think it's going to be an interesting time here, and at the very least, maybe some good altcoin trading coming up, which we're preparing for it again. We'll show you the group tomorrow. It's a Telegram group, VIP Telegram group, and we do post some setups in the Hive right now, but this is going to be like full on setups. We're going to post a lot more in there, and you're going to get the VIP treatment. So sign up to BYDFi in the description and the link below. And also sign up to the Hive, guys. That is free to do, and we're just developing an amazing community there. So go pull up and say hi, and let's go. Richard, it's only a fourth wave bounce of the Elliott waves. Okay, so I know you were thinking that we were coming into a bear market before. Are you still of that opinion? Or what are your thoughts, Richard? I'd be interested to know. But yeah, I don't know. This is where we're at right now. So we're looking for a bounce at the very least. Let's see what happens at 100K. If we get beyond 100K, then all right, there's those Elliott waves. What are you seeing, Rob?
I'm just seeing there's an Elliott wave indicator. I'm not very big. I'm not very. I do a bunch of Fibonacci work to do really good Elliott waves. I was just seeing what the automatic one says. It's saying wave 5, then 8. Then after you get a wave 5, you get illusion A, B, C. But I'm not really. It doesn't really look clean. That's a really big yellow line there, so I don't really like it. I wouldn't trust it on that one there. So I would have to sit there and look at the rules of the Elliott wave and the Fibonacci rules on it, and actually map it out. That takes a little bit of time. So
right. Yeah, and you know what? We keep it very simple too for you guys who are learning how to trade or want to learn how to trade and make a lot of money. Like I said, Rob is going to be doing live scalping trades, so that's on the 5-minute time frame, right? That's in and out, learning how to play that, and we might be coming into some excellent conditions to do so, right? So you will get access to that if you sign up for BYDFi, and it's a real lot of fun, guys. So do go ahead and do that right now, and we will see you in there on Wednesday when we start rocking and rolling in that Telegram group. Okay. So that being said, Rob, do we have any other Bitcoin charts to show, or should we jump on over to altcoins?
I mean, I just want to share, so indicators on the Stosh RSI and RSI are definitely getting low. The Stosh RSI, I like watching in the weekly time frame. We have it basically, we're looking at a potential crossover right here in the weekly time frame. So we're looking for that confirmation here. Then once we get above the 20s, that's when we get the strong confirmation. And then whenever I go into the 2 weeks, we are down all the way in here, which I think the 2 weeks, 2 weeks is a very strong one. And I think the 2 week one is a once a year opportunity.
Right.
So we're getting all these alignments right now. Yeah. So the last time we got the pivot low was in the 2 weeks. This pivot low was 2 weeks. What's that?
2 weeks is twice per year, or was that 1 week?
I think that's, let me see here. August 2024, 2025. What's this one here? 2023. Seems like it's once or twice a year. Yeah.
Yeah. So once or twice a year. But guys, it's a big move every time it happens. It's a big momentous move that brings momentum back into the market, right?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, if you're going to be long-term, you might as well just wait when we get the weekly and 2 weekly down in here. You buy in here, and that's whenever you buy. That's you save your money to these are the oscillators are down in here. That's when you buy if you're buying anything for long term, in my opinion.
Right.
If you're buying when you're up in here, you're doing it wrong, in my opinion, because this is an oscillator. They always go up and down. That's going to happen forever and ever and ever. That's something you just kind of keep in your mind. Like if you're saving up money to DCA, your best times at DCA is always on these. If it's something that you're going to hold for the rest of your life or something, or pass down to your kids, whatever you're going to do with it. Because I don't know what holders do. I'm a trader. I'm not a holder. But that would, if I was investing for a long-term type thing, that's how I would personally do it, because it just makes sense to me. Why would I ever want a DCA up in here? It just wouldn't make sense to me.
Right. Those are big long-term indicators that will help you time those moves if you're a macro investor, right? And I like that. That's a really good point. And that keeps it very, very simple. And usually when we're coming down into the bottoms of those swings, it will be accompanied by fear. There will be other points of confluence to tell you, hey, this is generally a good time to be buying.
Oh, 100%. I probably can go into every one of these times it's down low, and we can sit there and look back on what the news was and what was all going on. If you put a trading, maybe I'll start highlighting my trading journey or my trading journal on what's going on in the market whenever we get down in these areas. So maybe the next year or 2 years, we come back to it and be like, for the last 2 years, whenever we got these indicators, this is what happened. Sentiment wise is what everybody was saying, and look what happened afterwards. These went up, and then the price went up.
Right. I just want to say, you guys, I don't know how many people are into this, but Brian, I know you like lucky stuff, like lucky eights and things. My T quote, okay, the yogi tea. Do you guys do this? Like it's the yogi tea with the quotes on it. It says the worst enemy we have is our own fear. So how about that for some confluence, okay? Not panic selling the dip, basically. Like, man, even if you are going to sell, like there's better ways to navigate the markets, right? And before we potentially get this massive amount of momentum back into the market is generally not the time to be panic selling.
100%. Panic. I mean, I mean, you have to sit there and look back on why you bought beforehand. So why are you selling right now? Or you didn't make a plan of a scaling plan or anything like that. You have to learn how to make a plan and stick to your plan. Like if you just go in all at once, or if you just buy when everybody's all hyped up on everything and just all excited, and then you're just going with what the sentiment's going like right at that moment, that's typically what you don't want to do. You want to sit there and make a plan off of data, not off of, I mean, for me, technicals and data, not off of what everybody is feeling in the market or on X or on whatever.
Exactly. So investing is hard, and so
That's
if it
why
were easy, everybody would be good at it.
that's why I don't
Right?
invest. I trade. I think it's easier.
And I think that the absolute best strategy is to pair them, right? So that's why, like, I know we have a lot of long-term holders on this channel. You can do both, and you can compound those gains, put them into your long-term bags, put them in your Bitcoin holdings. Like, there's a way to crush it at these markets, and that's what we want to teach you here. So yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
100%. And knowing this type of stuff here makes you a better trader. Like I think knowing like the good times, like when the indicators come on to like for like would be a good time to do a long term or for a lifetime position or something like that. Say like on Bitcoin or whatever, XRP, Theta, ADA. I think knowing those indicators there, learning that type of stuff in the past year and a half, 2 years has helped me become a better trader because I know when to look for pivot shifts. So that way I know when to stop shorting and when to start longing, when to stop longing and when to start shorting. Because I trade both ways. I never try to be a bull. I never try to be a bear. I try to be a trader, and I just sit there and take advantage of whatever price movement's going on during the next couple weeks or whatever. So those there understand that stuff is saying, they're saying, all right, if we're getting these indicators right here all happening like this, when we get in the 1 day time frame, we start breaking the 1 day 9, which I think we're not just there yet, but we're right on it. And we got the same type of indicators here. And we break above that. I mean, the potential of us getting at least up to that 100K and having alts followed up that way, and longs are going to have a higher probability of playing out now than shorts. I better stop trying to short the market. I better sit there and pivot, because you get to what's going to happen now is everybody's like, oh, it's a fake bounce, it's a dead cat bounce. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but they're going to start shorting right here, and they're just going to keep getting wrecked, or they're going to start building a short, and it's going to pop up here and do a liquidity grab, and everybody's going to get wrecked that's shorting it, and we're going to get next we're going to be seeing. So we've been seeing leverage trades just get absolutely hammered. Next, we're going to be seeing when we get up in this area above 100K or around 100K or something, we start waking up there. We're going to start seeing shorts just getting hammered next, and the same thing's going to happen. And it never seems, it always seems to never fail to happen that way. And me personally, just doing this for so long, I don't understand why. I'm like, don't you buy red and sell green?
Yeah, exactly. It's very simple yet so hard to do. It's so easy to invest when everybody's bullish, when everybody's raging. It's so hard when the Twitter timeline, sorry, X, is off the charts and everybody's calling for the end of the market, and you're ridiculous if you're still in. It's very hard to do. But you hold your breath and you buy the dips that make you sick. Isn't that right, Rob?
Yep. And if you get good at it, they don't make you sick anymore, because you know how to be patient, and you know how to look for signals, and just like, oh, it's only down 20%. I might just wait just a little bit and see how much more it goes down. You wait for that dip of the dippity dip of the dip. And like, all right, this has been like 13 dips already. I think I might put a little in.
Exactly. The only guy who's sick right now is the Satoshi era wallet. That's 40 billion down, right, on this dip. Guys, that's the only person who's sick from this dip. Everybody else, you can make it through. That's all I have to say.
All right. So was I going to look at anything otherwise? Let's see here. We looked at that one. You looked at that one. Oh, VIX. I want to talk about VIX. So what the VIX is. So this is for stock market, the VIX, and this is basically shows you, this is for options, like option traders, shows you option traders who's basically longing and shorting. They're called puts and puts and calls. And so basically when it goes up, it means more. I'm going to use our terms so people understand it easier. When the VIX goes up, it means more people are short in the market, which is puts. And they believe that more people believe it's going to go down. So these are typically should be more skilled traders that are making this chart move here. And I just kind of mapped out. This was the 2008 crash and the 2019 COVID crash right here. And with everything dipping, everyone was sitting there saying, could this be a COVID-19 crash, capitulation? We never in the past couple weeks, we never hit those levels. Like this didn't go, like we got up to like 26, started kind of cause some good fear on it, but we never got up to like the 60, 72 levels. We got there and on July 24th, but we never on this whole pullback, this never in the stock market wise, we never got those big green candles saying fear in the stock market. I just found that interesting as well too, with all these market dynamics playing out. That the people who trade options in the stock market, so as a market as a whole, just all markets together, because I think they're all intertwined somehow, because it's all just people's emotions, in my opinion. And that has not played out yet in the stock market. So the crypto markets is doing something a little bit differently than the stock markets.
Yeah, no, it's very interesting. In fact, I do have to say, I saw the other day on Crypto Dan, what is his name? Crypto Ventures. He's the guy that talks about Cardano all the time. He was actually shouting out to another trader, the only trader who he had seen that looks at the Russell 2000. And guess who was looking at the Russell 2000 before all of them? Rob was. I don't know if you guys remember from back in those streams. If you're an OG here and you've been here for more than a month, you will remember that Rob was also looking at the Russell 2000, which is the smaller cap stocks, the stocks that have to survive off like borrowing. They have less of a balance sheet, you know, those more volatile stocks. And yeah, Rob, you were one of the first, or not the first that I had on my timeline to be looking at that Russell 2000.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, right now it looks like a bull trap. Last time I looked at it, I don't have the chart pulled up on it right now, but we'll look at next episode, maybe tomorrow. I want to jump into some altcoins, so I don't have very much more time left.
Right. So let's do this. So Theta, maybe we should go over Theta because it's currently in the process of looking pretty bullish. And I know we have a lot of Theta holders on this channel, guys. So let's give you some gems. And while Rob's pulling that up, Cam, yeah, that's a green screen there. That's a green screen that crypto people use that Rob has. And yeah, I mean, they're all wonderful piano players and astute musicians. So yeah. So Brian, I didn't know you were a Solana bull. Okay, stake Solana. I mean, generally, if you're going to be a long-term holder, you might as well stake it and get some free coins, right? Absolutely. Free stuff is where it's at. But you know, sometimes you might want to unstake some of it if there's a cool down period, if we're coming into the heat of a bull market top, because then you want to be ready to sell some of your bags if that's your plan. But yeah, staking is great otherwise long term.
I've only staked one thing really, and I think that was Algo.
Oh, that's an OG coin, Rob.
So right here, so this is Thea right here, and what I'm basically was posting in the group right here is we're moving on the 12-hour SMA 9. I want to see a break of that, and I believe it might come down and retest as well too. So basically putting like if we close in 2 hours and 38 minutes. So after that, you can start looking to scale in down as long as we close above it, which the price is at 35.5 of the 9 right here. We do have, so looking right down here, we put a lower low in, and the RSI has made a higher high. So we have pretty strong bullish divergence going on right now. And on my Lux Algo oscillator right here, we have a buy signal, and this MACD, we have a potential bullish crossover. Stosh RSI is already going up. That always fronts run, so that's one of the ones I was kind of look at. And they're both lines are over 50. That's telling us bullish momentum is coming into this market. So any be that close here, in my opinion, I think we're going to be having a good, any red candles after that are going to be good entry ideas. I did zoom in and I already got myself a bag on it. I did buy it at 50, but I actually left the trade because we closed underneath the 9. Like I said, I'm a trader. I don't hold anything. So whenever we got this close underneath here, I actually left it and it went down another, let's see here. After I left it, so I left it right about here, right before that big red candle. We're down about 50% from there. So I just entered I entered this morning right around here-ish. So I got a 47% Black Friday sale on this token compared to my last entry. That's how I'm looking at it. So I do have a small bag as right now. Now, the one thing we do have to be careful on here, which I'm not too concerned about just yet, we are coming up into the one-day SMA 9 here. And if we don't close above it right now, that's why I'm saying we get rejected on here. That's why I think we could come back down and bullish retest everything. But our oscillators are all just about to flip bullish on this as well too. The RSI on the one day as well too has bullish divergence. We don't have as strong yet on the Stosh RSI. So that's where I'm sitting there saying we want to be able to scale in this zone if we come back down, just because we don't have the confirmation on the one-day time frame yet. So just being prepared for that pullback. That's why I'm not adding any right now, because right for me to add to my position right now, so that it's already in profit, would be a bad idea to DCA up at this level here because we don't have confirmation yet. Now, if we did close above the 1-day SMA 9, which is this level right here at 37.8, I would rather DC up higher right now. See if we break above it, get that S and R flip of this level here. Then I'll DCA up. As I said there, then I'll have a confirmed entry idea right now. But right now, if we get the bearish retest right here, we come down and make a higher low, I'll DCA that way. That's whenever you start zooming into the 4-hour chart, stuff like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull on and see if there's any change of characters or any bullish order blocks where I might want to sit there and scale into on leverage. Or if we get those, I might look at, like, let's see here, 4-hour, not yet. Let's look at the 1-hour chart. So 1 hour, so right where I had that green line. So that's also 1 hour change of character. Now we get that pullback in this 1 hour change of character zone, buy zone, which about this, it's about, technically it's 2%, but I'm going to do this one, so 5% scale in zone right down here. I'll sit there and look to scale in on that level there. And if it starts, and I'll be able to, if I'm going to leverage trade it, I'm going to zoom into even a smaller time frame. I'm not going to go over that because that's a little bit more complicated, but I might be able to take a leverage trade in this area as well too, and open up a small leverage trade for a smaller move to make some capital off of it as well. Now I'll take profits for my idea as of right now, but things always change. You kind of update it as they go. We have a strong order block right here at 51 and at 94. Yes, you can. You can have them at.
Can I have one candy?
No.
No, it's anytime.
No
He knows that
candy.
you're distracted right now.
So right there, so 94. So if we get up in there, I'll be leverage trades should definitely be taking profits all the way up through here. Spot,
Right.
I'll sit there and use a following stop loss. And whenever we lose if we get a reversal signal up in here, then I'll just close my spot position, or I'll just move my stop losses up to be real tight.
Right. So we got some Theta crew out of the woodworks here. We have Watchman who's saying it's nice to hear that Theta chart is still bullish. Captain Rob, take the ship to Valhalla.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's also bouncing right up a strong. So I even go over this. I had this. I think I posted this in group. We have this this spot right here. So we're bouncing right on this spot right here over here, and that's a support area. So yeah, we did lose this support right here, but it doesn't mean we can't regain it. Bear trap, and typically it's you lose one support, you wait for the next support and see if that holds.
Right.
And that's basically what happened to me. Is I bought this support right in here, and once I got up to here or whatever, and it gave me like a bearish signal right here, I just left. That's what traders do. It's not anything against any tokens, and that's the one thing that's just different. You're never bullish, you're never bearish. You're just looking to make small gains off of price movements, off of swings and stuff like that.
Right, exactly. And so that's how you make money by both long-term investing and trading and scalping. So we're going to be teaching that very, very soon. On Wednesday, we're officially launching our Telegram, or VIP Telegram, with all of the signals all day long, guys, every day. So we'll be really pumping that hard, and just like, because it's getting to be about time for that big move to happen, and we want you guys to be ready. Okay, so I think on that note, Rob, maybe we might wrap this one up today, and we'll go over more altcoins tomorrow and the next day. So if you guys want to see some of your altcoins charted, jump in the Hive, let us know in the chat, okay? And from Wednesday, we might be changing the live stream structure, so we'll update you on that as well. Lots of big announcements coming this week, so that's all I have to say. Make sure that you get in the Discord, as well as in, sign up to BYDFi to be eligible for the Hive trading group on Telegram, and we are going to absolutely crush it. Rob, any last words before we round the stream up?
Nothing really. Just getting ready for Thanksgiving and getting ready for turkeys. Forgot about that almost.
Yeah, some good Thanksgiving dinner table conversations, like maybe a little bit better than we would have had last week, right?
100%. Yeah, get ready for that. Talk about the Hive on your Thanksgiving dinner tables.
Yes, tell everybody about the Hive, and make sure you get in yourself, because we are going to be launching this group the day before Thanksgiving, and who knows, maybe trading some Black Friday sales all throughout that weekend. Let's freaking go, okay, you guys? So it's time to get serious, and we're so excited. So on that note, we will see you again tomorrow for more, and hope you guys have a fantastic Monday.